Hadith which likens Sayyidah Fatima Salamullah alayhi to the night of Qadr. To knock on the door of grace is the etiquette of angels, they say. They have been taught and embraced. Here stands the angel of death himself, seeking permission before permitting himself to the soul of the seal of prophethood, and I see Jibreel, head bowed, awaiting permission to enter. Did you seek permission, O Gabriel, when revelation descended on the heart of Muhammad? Before this house sits the beloved of Muhammad, the protector and the enigma of the divine grace. The Zahir apparent was the fleshed heart of Muhammad. The Batin esoteric soul lies within the daughter he will go on to call his mother. On the night of power, when the verses were revealed, when men could not quantify and comprehend the power of it, the divine asked, what of the nights of power? I wonder, as Fatima was the night of power and the mystery of her grave was buried deep for others to reflect, when Ali was buried in mystery and struck amongst the nights of power, and God revealed years later his sacred burial site. How far is that dawn when the mystery revealed of the Qadr night that was buried? At that time, alas, her shrine others will find. So why do they call her the night of power? Is it because she too will be revealed when the stars align and the Mahdi will rise to seal the fate of our destiny, an anticipated dawn for the reveal of the night of destiny? She is Laylatul Qadr. With a movement of her hands, the fate of man can change. She commands with her voice. The ground quakes in tandem with her, that trembles as she mourned. Where is her Muhsin? Tell Fatima not to mourn, they would say. Her weeping causes the trees to in grief to sway, and the sun no longer sits above the desert dunes. What grief strikes the soul of the woman who prays for others before herself and spreads knowledge scattered on peaks collected in her lap? And what is the night of power, they ask, that her sons refer to their mother as such? And the divine spreads his name across the skies on the earth, so we could try and comprehend the godsend, the union, and our arrival. But what of Fatima's names? I find the ground whispers she is Abida, the devout and devoted Al-Qanita, subdued in the divine names as though breaths beat her tasbih of love, Al-Adila, who when she judges is fair and right, Al-Alima, the absolute complete mind, Al-Aliya, she is Ali in the feminine form, the defender of Ali's right, and Al-Amila, who is in God's path, a strive. Afdalun Nisa, no woman can dare to suspend her right, and when she retreats to her mihrab, she becomes Al-Arifa, the possessor of secrets divine, Al-Zahra, the chaste and protected, Al-Aziza, the utmost respected, Al-Basita, who maximizes prosperity, and in adversity and calamity, she is Sabira, the patient. For in her lies the divine enigma, and nestled intrinsic awe, she is Batina, Al-Batul, the purest of them all, Ba'atul Rasul, the sapling that blossomed the forest from the flesh of prophethood, Dania, the woman of true liberty, Durran Nur, for with her footsteps scattered the gems of light that even angels descend to gather and take back to God's light. And when she spoke in the court of the tyrant, she became the queen that on the mountain of eloquence resides, Al-Fasiha. SubhanAllah. Al-Fatiha, she is the opening, the flowering of guidance, Al-Kamila, the completion. For with her began the imamat, and with her blood it will seal. She is Habiba, the beloved of the beloved, the lover and the loved, Hajia, the pilgrim that the Kaaba itself awaits, and her soul is the custodian of divine wisdom. Hakima, Halima, for you, have you seen a queen so gentle that cannot tolerate the cries of a captive, of an orphan, of the destitute? So she gives when she fasts the noble Sa'ima, as she is a Sahibatul Atiyya, giver of goodness. Hadira, she who was present in the call of God. And when they tried to sanction her mourning, they did not understand she is God's Hurriya. No man can contain her freedom. Hujjata, the mother of the proofs of mankind, and is the proof upon them. As Sadiq would say, who on the Hijaz plains where daughters were buried, she in the prophetic glance was raised, Al-Hijaziyya. And on the scales of motherhood, tell me of a father that can call his daughter Abiha. For her mercy cannot be contained. Hania Kitab, the mother of the book. Hawr al-Insiya, the angels metamorphosized. Al-Jalila, Al-Jamila, the woman of stature sublime. Al-Kalimatul Baqiyya, whose words till the end of days we will recite. For in truth she is crowned Al-Karima, the glorious. And she is a sign that proved that those that doubted Muhammad al-Kawthar, that flows in gratitude in a river that will never dry. She is al-Mardiyya, who is God's content. Al-Radiya, who is content with his will. For even Maryam knows that Fatima is Maryam al-Kubra. She is al-Mubarakah, the blessings of her womb, blessed salvation, immaculate conception. She is of noble birth. She is al-Najiba, al-Musaliha. From her revolutions are birthed al-Mutahhara, al-Tahira, the thoroughly purified, the purifier, and Ali's counsel to his troubled heart, al-Nasiha. She will stand witness to his broken heart, Nadhiratul Bashar, the watchful eyes upon mankind, and Najiyya, a savior that saves even though she is wounded, and cries, Fizza, I am behind the door. And Nuriya, that obliterates darkness with her light, and even if they were to set her door alight, she still stands. And Naqiyya, As-Taqiyya, As-Sadiqa, the source of the Imamat light, As-Salihah, the witness. As-Salima, in perfect submission, for upon the seal of prophethood she is Ash-Shahida. From her blossoms the gardens of might and light. She is Ash-Shajara Tayyibah, the tree of purity, and in her power she is Ad-Dahira. For enwrapped all of these titles, he crowned her and called her Az-Zahra. She is Fatima. So what of the nights of power? For her planets strung as prayer beads, the cosmos orbiting around her feet. She is the night of power revealed. And what of those nights and of those days that to nights turn? How do you bury such power, Ali? Mountains to dust crumble to make her mound. Ali recites the names of Fatima as he rises. The sun yearns to be her light. Tonight the moon in shyness hides. The clouds to be her shroud, so the stars to her grave. For the angels etch an epitaph to the skies. Come, Father of earth and dust, Abu Turab, in the shyness of the moon, bury the night of power. Laylatul Qadr must return back. And I hear him whisper to the ground.
Subhanallah.
And what of the nights of power? Uma adrak ma. Salawat.